Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stallions Run. I'm, of course, your co-host, as always, Buck with Scout. We have quite a lot to get into. We've had a coach availability with Skip Holtz. I got to attend that. I'm going to talk to you guys about what I thought and felt throughout the entire availability. Scout, we got new uniforms potentially coming
Mhm.
along the way after we discussed those last week, and then more to talk about, of course, with camp. So let's start off with that coaching availability. So when we last left you, because of some stuff happening behind the scenes, the episode was pushed to Thursday. So you probably were thinking, okay, well, the availability, well, has it happened yet? Well, it has. And Scout, unfortunately, you didn't get a chance to attend. So feel free if I'm like kind of like if you feel like maybe one of Skip Balls talked about something, feel free to interrupt me. If he did, I'll kind of mention that. But basically, we everyone logged onto a Zoom call. Some of the Birmingham PR staff, I think, they're based out of Birmingham still. Coach called in from Arlington, and I called in from my location. Everyone else did. One thing I was very happy to see was a lot of like Alabama reporters, not just like the other UFL sites. So that was something that I was very excited to see. Otherwise, it was about 30 minutes on the dot. It started at but it started about 11:31 with a start time of 11:30. And we Skip Holtz opened up with a statement, basically saying, "Hey, here we are. We're starting off. They were only when it started on when the call happened. Of course, it was on Wednesday last week. They were on their second day of pads. They were getting ready to go out. They hadn't gone out yet, and basically he said, we're sort of excited for what's going on with the new league, 4 new teams that we have to face, and we are prepping to go back, try to get a third championship. Um, so from there, it went on to questions. The first question was just about Alabama players. We basically said it on the show along with Ashley, the mentioned Calvin Ashley. So it's Bo, Slade, and Ashley that were asked about. Uh, and so okay, we have an idea about Alabama and Auburn players. I'm trying to remember. So I was the third question. No, was I the fourth? Uh, all I'm going to say in terms of that, while I'm having some memory mix-ups, is because some people were not me, but some other people were jumping ahead in terms of questions. So I'm still a little upset about that. Shout out to those legacy media guys who think they can cheat the rules. But basically, we kind of went through a lot of questions were about kind of like thoughts on like playing new teams, having a full road schedule this season, kind of just being new adapting to a new league. And I'll be honest, I think I probably asked the best question. The one thing I was really wanting to know is what was it like for having to adapt to that XFL rule set in terms of extra points, because
Mhm.
I mean, you're switching up your entire thought process. Of course, the USFL had 1, 2, and 3 still, but that was kick, 2 yard line, 5 yard line. This is a completely different game now. And Coach gave a great answer, I thought. And basically he said, we're having to start from scratch. We're going from okay, we have this mindset, this mindset. We're now having to go in with a brand new mindset in terms of special teams, because what was once now having the kicker's job is now another 11-man job. So that was something that he talked about. But also mentioned that they're basically drawing up new plays as we were speaking. They're basically trying to find every way to put a circle into a square peg, kind of like that, and basically go through and try to make sure they can have every scenario figured out in terms of the extra point scenario. After that, there was one more question. I'm trying to remember what it was, and then everything wrapped up. It sounds like we're probably going to be getting another one fairly soon. So I'm glad that now that training camp has started, we're starting to have some more accessibility with the coaches. So that's something I'm very happy to see. So, Scout, any thoughts? Anything you could think about that maybe he was asked?
Um, did he talk about Philip Montgomery at all?
No, no, he did
Okay,
not.
that would have been my question. Um, Obviously, I think there's probably a good bit of Auburn fans that are here, and not
Well, I
necessarily
mean, like I
the
said, Calvin Ashley was brought up when asked about
the
like kind of how with Auburn and Alabama players, but that was it.
oh yeah.
Just Auburn Alabama talk.
But I was just saying the Philip Montgomery didn't necessarily leave Auburn on the highest of opinions. I know that we do have a lot of Auburn fans on our ranks, so it could be a working thing. I believe Skip already said he's calling plays, but yeah,
Yes, he did confirm that he's staying around as he's going to be the play caller for OC.
yes,
So
but
yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So basically, that kind of very it was a very much an introductory kind of availability. I was very glad I got to be able to ask a question because it was fairly limited. It was it was basically 30 minutes and that was it. They were clearly trying to get stuff through, so that was something that we beat the clock on. But yeah, but so Scout, moving away from just kind of what's going on with what's on the field. We got some off the field stuff to talk about. Right now, reporting is saying that we could be seeing the Under Armour UFL uniforms for the USFL teams fairly soon. What's your thoughts on that potential? I mean, we talked about last episode, but now we possibly get to see it as soon as this week.
yeah. So this is where like I really had to do a deep dive on the XFL uniforms last year, how they all had kind of something that either had to do with the area, had to do with the previous franchise, had to do with the brand. Um, but I was really confused on where the Stallions could go with this. They could go traditional, which I think they're going to go mostly traditional. I think if we go anything experimental, it would be more like the Brahmas, where it's like we get a fancy design on the collar or something. But what I would definitely see is so I noticed this a lot while looking through it is that the Brahmas did not have a white jersey, and I know we've seen the quarterbacks wearing red, and we've seen the one side of the ball wearing gold, and I'm almost wondering if we will be a team that we only have red and gold as our uniforms. Because now that's just me talking out of my butt. Obviously, I don't think anyone's really in the know, at least outside of the people actually making the uniforms. Um, but yeah, but we could do. I think that there will be some Magic City elements to it, or some Birmingham, some there's a ton of different things, the iron, the like just like all the
Hmm.
different industries in Birmingham. But I think we definitely will see something sentimental. I know like the Legion have a lot of things with Sparks or Lady Electra and stuff like that. I don't think it'll be like that specific. Like I don't think we'll see Lady Electra or Vulcan, but we'll probably see. I mentioned to you off the stream yesterday that, or not yesterday, last week, that the like Vulcan is holding the tip of the
Yeah,
arrowhead that
the spearhead.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah, I was saying that would look great on like the collar, especially with how some of these are like thick collared. Um,
Yeah, I'm going to give you a counter argument though, right there. The Chiefs arrowhead that
mm.
people would instantly kind of say, "Oh, well, you're copying the Chiefs." You know.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Just use it in a very minimalistic way. I don't like the Chiefs. They don't really use that arrowhead in that way. Um, and you could use it tastefully. I don't think you have to use it as in any extreme way. But yeah, but I think the uniforms for all of the USFL teams will be really good. Even somebody said that the Roughnecks will have a different looking uniform, which all the Texas people are going to hate me here, but I really hope the helmet changes. I know I said
Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That tricolor helmet was awful. I
yes,
said that last week, and I know it's anything, so I think the majority of people agree.
yes. The Look, I love the Texas flag. I think you can find ways to incorporate it, but oh, that one looked rough. Especially, and it looked bad in comparison to other like Texas state flag football helmets because it's not like a foreign concept. It's not like a brand new concept, right? Like it's been done before. It's been done by Texas Tech. It's been done by a ton of different schools, and I think it was we were talking about it on Twitter, me and Ace, and we were talking about how if it was just a plain white helmet with like some red and blue striping down the middle, and then you get the little H oil drill, and that's what you call a helmet. And I think that would be really nice. Um, but yeah, but I think the Stallions will have a really nice set. I think the Roughnecks should have a really nice set. Um, the Panthers, I think the Panthers is one that you can't really change that much. There's just a ton of, they have basically the same uniform that they did in the 80s.
Yeah.
There's a ton of history there. The pants will probably be the biggest change for I think all the teams. I don't think we'll see that huge like obscene like absurdly big stripe on the sides. Um, but yeah, but Panthers should be basically the same, and then who am I missing? The showboats
Yes.
should be similar. The showboats might be the biggest gainer because
Yeah.
I wasn't really a fan of the thick. It's an '80s
The big
'90s
shoulder
concept.
block. Yeah.
Yeah. Shoulder block. It looks great in video games, but like in the on the field, it didn't look the best. Now there could be somebody like a someone from the older generation that's like, oh, I loved that. But I think they could do more, especially, showboats, like put a big, because they used to have in the 80s, they were red and silver, but they had the little
Wheel.
wheel.
Hmm.
And I'm like you could put that on the shoulder or something. You could put it on the back of the collar. There's just much stuff that, especially the XFL kind of like did as like a sentimental thing to that team, which I thought was like I thought the like even now looking back on it like today, I think from head to toe the XFL jerseys, the XFL uniforms were probably better last year than the USFL.
Yeah. I
Once
wasn't a
a
big I wasn't a big fan of those XFL uniforms, to be honest. So
yeah, but I'm just saying like in general, I think one of the biggest selling points are like the helmets. And this was really for both leagues, but the I like that every helmet was different in some way, shape, or form. And like because I hate the new Arlington Renegades logo. Like I wish they would just go back to the um
to the Bandit.
well, yeah, whatever they call the bandit. There's a specific name for it. That's all I was pausing. But uh, but yeah, but I wish they would go back to that. But I love the little like thick stripe they have in the middle of it, and it's like matte on one end and then glossy on the other. So yeah, but that was a long-winded way of saying the Stallions will be getting new uniforms. They'll probably look a little bit different. I have noticed one thing that we have not used on the logo itself. We've been using just the red logo, like it's all red, and
Yeah.
it was in the USFL like team logos like page, but which means that it was a branded logo, but we did not see it hardly at all outside of maybe like a score graphic or something. But that could be something that they use more of. I know somebody said that we're going to see that B on the helmet. I think we'll see if we see the B, it'll be like on the side of the jersey, um, or on the well no the back part is probably gonna be that rock logo. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, but there's a lot of different things, and I think it'll be great no matter what it is. I wasn't like I liked our uniforms, but I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan. It was very generic. I think our helmet was the best part of our uniform, and I think even then it could, there could be some improvements there. But yeah, those are my thoughts on
Mm.
the uniforms.
Um, I think you got to keep the stallion head.
Mm,
I think that's non-negotiable. Red B,
yeah,
all right. You know what? You want to recolor the B probably because you got the Bowhawks and you got the Brahmas. All right, makes sense. You want to kind of
yeah.
make sure all the different B nicknames or city names are a little different. Of course, makes sense. But I think the Science uniforms for me are close to perfect for what you can get. So I'm really hoping that they kind of just leave those alone, just update it what you can to the Under Armour template and just kind of let it be.
Hmm.
I just I don't see a reason to make really big changes to those
Yeah.
uniforms. That's my big thing. It's just like let them be. Just let them be.
Yeah. One thing I would call my non-negotiable though is like you have to change the pants. Like it's such a
Mhm.
small thing, but it's like even if it's just a solid color pant, like even if you just want red pants or something or gold pants or white pants, right? It's like that thick stripe kills it for me. And it looks thick on the TV screen. It looks thick on like from the stands. If you stand next to those boys, it looks like thick. Like it's
I never got that impression when I was in the
yeah,
field. I
but
never got that. I never got that.
but it was just like the I don't know. I'm used to the thin stripe because it's about even though it's a single stripe, it is wider than even the what do you call it? It is even thicker than like the Auburn tri-stripe, which is something that is really notable. But yeah, but I think like
Yeah.
our side where it's like the red gold red stripe, that would probably be fine. They'll probably slap a B in the middle of there, like the Steelers at points have put the Steeler logo there. And then I think like on the helmet, I think the stripe probably gets changed. You probably buff that up a little more. But yeah, I do think the sounds like the head stays. I think that's iconic. But I think you could recolor it. You could they might take the gold away or something. But yeah, we should keep gold helmets. We're the only team, sort of kind of
Yeah.
that has gold helmets. I know Michigan sort of counts, but of the solid color teams, we're the only gold helmet.
Mm.
And I think we should keep that because we wouldn't be the only white helmet, we wouldn't be the only red helmet. So unless if we're getting black, keep it gold.
Yeah. All right. Well, last thing that I have on the docket for us today, we are now getting more videos of Matt Corral, Adrian Martinez, Jamar Smith, and Jalen Warren kind of going through camp. At the moment, there's right now a big debate within the Stallions fandom who's going to be that starting quarterback. Everyone seems to be keeping it close to the chest, who at least the leader is right now. But based off what you have seen, Scott, we'll start with you. I'll put the pressure on you. Who do you think at the moment is likely at the moment who is likely the starter at the moment in quarterback?
I don't know. I don't know. We haven't seen enough. I feel like they've been doing JMO dirty. Because
Yeah,
they
Jamar's been he hasn't gotten as much,
well no,
which I
no
kind of
I meant JMO as in Jalen Morton.
Oh,
They put one video out of Jalen today.
yeah, yeah,
And but he looked good in that one video. I think Jamar, he has looked good on. I think they've put 3 or 4 clips out. Uh, Adrian Martinez, from his first clip to his most recent clip today, has had the most like improvement in my opinion. But like I
mhm,
think someone's gonna see Matt Corral's like his just quick release and they're gonna be like, wow, like they're like, because I don't know if it's just the camera, if it's just like the way he looks, but he looks like he's absolutely like he looks weird doing it. Like I know we've talked about this a few times, but whenever he gets that out, he's slinging it. So
yeah,
I'll probably have it in a battle where your 1-2 combo is some combination of Corral and Jamar. 3 is Martinez, and then 4 is uh, Morton. And I think it could easily be a 3 horse race with Morton. Um, uh, it could be a 3 horse race with Jamar, Corral, and
Martinez.
Martinez. God, I don't know why I blanked out there. But yeah, but you get those 3 guys in a 3 horse race. It could be a very competitive camp. I will say, I think this might be a situation where we end up like I don't want to say we cut the better player, but like I think all 3 of those guys could compete on other teams as well. So like let's say it's a 3 horse race, but they're really high on Corral and Martinez, or well, let's say they're really high on Corral and Jamar at the end of it, right? They might like have a conversation with Martinez, be like, hey, if you want to stay, you're probably a third string, or we can let you go, and then keep Jalen on as your backup because I think Jalen's been like a prospect or like a project piece for a while now, and I think they want to keep him there. I think they like his ceiling. He might not be there yet, but I think or I think that they believe that they can get them there. So it's there's a lot of different things going into it, but yeah. But I think like it'll probably be. I'll put my bet on Matt Corral this early.
Mm. I gotta disagree with you. With project pieces in the UFL and USFL and spring football in general, I'm sorry, but Jalen Warren's the link week here. No, weak link. I don't know why I screwed that up. But unfortunately, I think he's gonna like be cut. I can't see another way. Adrian Martinez looks spectacular. Jamar Smith looks spectacular. Matt Corral, right now on my board, I have him pegged as a starter at the moment. The way he's just going through camp, it looks like he's almost just sailing through without an issue. Which as a Jamar Smith stan, it's something that kind of hurts a little bit to say. But in spring football, you do not have the time to do projects. I mean, because you have these guys for what? Okay, so February, March, April, uh, May, June. That's it. How can you really make that guy a project when, unlike the NFL where it's almost year round, you have access to these guys?
Yeah.
So I think unfortunately, I see a scenario where Adrian's probably going to be staying on. Jalen, I could see him easily going to another team because someone like Houston, I think he could potentially strive there. But it's like Birmingham is so stacked at the position. I can't see a scenario where they willingly let a good player go over Jalen. It's just I don't see that. So right now, for me, it's Matt, Jamar, and then Adrian. That's kind of like my list for that board in terms of the quarterback room. So, all right. Well, that is it for this week's episode of Stallions Run. Of course, I've been your host, Buck, as always. You can find me at Stallions UFM on X/Twitter. Scout, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Southern Charm SP on Twitter and Southern Charm Sports on Instagram. We mainly post on Twitter, but we do occasionally go on Instagram. And yeah, we post all types of different content. We will be posting more science content as we get closer to the season. And yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week with more news and information to talk about when it comes to the Birmingham Stallions.